All right, we go 3, 2, 1. There you go. The legend is in the building. This is gonna be good.
What's going on, dude?
How you been? All right?
Just living the American dream, brother.
You look good. Look at you.
Hey, I'm trying, bro.
So, dude, I want to start off. I was having this conversation the other day with somebody, and I want to bring it up. It's so cool. So I was talking to them about, you could fill in some of the gaps because it's from like 2013, so you could help me out with this.
Yeah.
But it was like a final table over at Brownstone. And I think your sister was playing in the tournament, and she had just lost to these guys. So it was you against whoever you were playing on the final table.
Oh my God, I know exactly what you're gonna say already.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if that was the 1K final. It might have been a 1K final.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
At that time, we had really no rules on shit talking. We were new, and we kind of figured things out. So there was a lot of shit talking that happened on your sister's semifinal game, and she was pissed. And then she was against these guys who you were playing, and they were started the shit talking, and she started shit talking from the sidelines. So we actually had to set up a rope barrier.
A barrier.
Next to the fucking table, and I have a picture playing with a rope barrier, and she's on the barrier, just fucking giving it to the other team.
I think I know exactly which one you're talking about, dude.
But like, we actually had to set up a rope fucking barrier because she was pissed, and you won.
I know.
You ended up winning.
Yeah, we did.
I think it was like a group picture. I think you guys were there, and people were around you.
We did. I think that was actually I think that was our first one actually. That we won, me and Migs.
Yeah, so that was season 4. That was fucking season 4 of Pongkings. It was Chupa Me Pinga. And it was
Chupa Me Pinga.
Chupa Me Pinga. And I wasn't sure if it was the finals or not, but I knew if I talked to you, you just said it straight. It's like 7 years ago, man, 2013, you know? So we're on 100.
How long ago.
Yeah, we're on 141 Ks. You guys won the 4th, and now we're on 141 Ks now. So,
no way. That many?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for
crap,
this COVID,
dude.
you know, we do about 30 a year now. 30 tournaments a year.
What?
1Ks, yeah.
Wow.
So, and if it wasn't for this COVID shit, we would be, almost.
Yeah, you'd be way more. Yeah. Wow, dude, that's crazy. I was thinking about the other day when you first started at Blackthorn. And I think it was the first night we were there, me and Migs, I think we ended up winning the 100 that night. There was like 12 teams.
Yes.
And then I think I stopped going to Pong for a while. And then the next time I spoke with you, I remember you're like, oh, you got to make sure you get there before 9. Like, I cap it off at 50. Like, the line's out the door. And I'm like, what? Like, because I remember, like I said, when we were there when you literally the very first night that you started at Blackthorn, and like to see what it became after was just. It was insane. It really was.
We tell people all the time, when they would see like the 50 teams there, and I was like, it was never like this when we first started. We grew it from the ground up. We had you guys, Dempinos, like everybody from Brownstone was going over supporting it, and it just took off. It just took off. So unbelievable.
Like I said,
gotta bring those pictures up. Sometimes I go through my old photos and I see it, or I see a video when we first started and where it turned up. I mean, we were capping it at, we were doing signups at 9:30 and capping it at 50 teams by 10 o'clock. And if we didn't get it going, we wouldn't finish on time.
There was a few times I remember it was like where they literally had to like kick people out, and like except for the 2 teams that were playing, because it would literally come down to like, before last call, like everything. And they were like, all right, like if you're not playing, you got to go.
Yeah. Unfucking believable. And then
Crazy,
Anthony was running it. And everybody always talks about when Anthony ran that tournament. I always see people like we'll do like the top 5 best tournaments that we've ever run. And that one always comes up, but they're like, but when Anthony was running it,
Yeah. That place was
there. Yeah. I think I don't know what other tournament I had. It might have been Park East.
I think it was Park.
Yeah. So he was running that one, and I was running Park. So I wasn't there. I was just getting the feedback, and then finally when I was able to go over and run it, what a shit show! What a shit show.
Dude, disaster.
Right to the very end. Right,
Yeah.
right to the like before they closed. Like we had to shorten it to 5 games.
Yeah, I remember because we started doing it. I think we started off with like 7 games,
Yeah, it
and
was
that
almost
only lasted. Yeah,
it was
that
almost
only lasted for like a little bit. And then I remember, like I said, I remember I stopped going for a little bit, and then I went back, and then you were like, "Sorry, dude, like we're only doing 5 games. Like we don't have time. Like we can't get all the games in."
what was happening was we were getting all these random teams that were signing in that were there for the party, and
Yeah,
they were missing their tables. So we had 9
right.
tables going, 50 teams. You're calling them, they're not showing up. That it started getting longer and longer. So by the time if you were like 0-5, we just dropped you out of the tournament.
Yeah,
We
you're
give
out.
everybody
Yeah,
automatic victory. So then we cut it down to 5 games just to kind of eliminate that. There were some times there, holy shit, we were doing 50 fucking teams, and uh,
yeah,
we were biting our nails to get to the final table.
yeah.
You know, only
It
once did
was.
we not finish. We only once did we not finish. It was because I think there was the fire marshal came in and they shut it down.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
capacity. Oh yeah.
So crazy.
Were you there for the Blue Rock days? You were there for the Blue Rock days. That was in
Yeah, yeah, dude. I love Blue Rock. That was like I don't think I ever won there, but I used to go just for fun and like would play with like randos and just
right.
would have mad fun at that bar. I love that bar. I just liked it because of how much space we had to play. Like it was literally, because like I said, we're so used to Brownstone and how tight it was at Brownstone, and then we go to these other, even at Park, when they moved it upstairs, and we had so much space compared to
Now,
Brownstone. And what was the other spot that we were at that was
because
pretty
Gabriel,
small too.
the Gabriel's wasn't small. I'm trying to think.
No, yeah, Gabriel's wasn't small, but
Was it
damn, what
Bash
was it?
Bar? Was it Bash?
No, Bash wasn't that bad. I actually liked Bash too. That place was pretty
Well,
good
they had it.
too.
Remember the first couple weeks they had it upstairs, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
once they
yeah. And
brought it
then
on
they
the main
moved
floor, it
it.
was okay. I'm trying to think of there's. I'm trying to think of what other.
I could have swore. I feel like there was like one other spot that we used to play at that was like pretty tight. But either way, I mean, Blue Rock was awesome because of the fact of like how much space it was, and like you weren't on top of each other
There was
playing.
like
Like
65 fucking teams signing up, and it was
yeah,
it was
yeah,
130 Pong kids that infiltrated
yeah.
the place.
Just
Yeah, it went
yeah,
from
just
0 to
took over.
130 in like an hour. And
Yeah,
it was just a shit
just
show. Yeah,
yeah, just
and
took over.
that's one of a lot of people like Blue Rock, Park East. People still love the Stone, no matter like even we've been doing tournaments up to last year.
Yeah.
People love the Stone, even though it's cramped and it's crowded. People just love the
It's just the atmosphere.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, yeah, it's just the atmosphere there. It's just
yeah.
you just like I said, everybody gets along. We rarely had ever fights any nights there. Like everybody was just real
Yeah.
cool, and
Yeah.
it was just awesome.
Yeah, everybody. Well, in the beginning, I remember when we first started it. It was you had a very tight knit crew that used to come out from
Yeah.
Edison, and everybody would come over, and it was like everybody knew each other. But then we got infiltrated from CDOT and all those World Series guys
Yeah,
came over. And the very beginning, when you had like the Mike Vitt and those guys come over,
dude, I hated playing those guys, man.
they'd
Those
show up
guys
in
were
flip-flops and shorts and just be like.
they I remember you had to change the rules because they would not show up like the first couple weeks, like pretty much on purpose, and then
Yeah.
they'd come like week 6 on or whatever it was, still end up making it to the playoffs, still get like a top 5 seed or whatever it was, and like just completely run the tournament. But those guys were good, man.
And I loved our players because we were new at it, and they had been playing for a while.
Yeah.
And our players were pissed. Our players like it's unfair, and we just all said, "Hey, man, we're just gonna get better. We're just gonna get better, and we're gonna ride this wave." And we did. We all got better, and they stopped coming after a while because it wasn't a cakewalk.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy money. And
No, yeah, I remember.
yeah, and if they ran their mouth there, like we had the rule, we put the rules in. You couldn't shit talk, and if they ran their mouth, like you had a whole crew of people from that,
Yeah,
that respected me, respected the bar. We're like, shut your fucking
Yeah.
mouth, like this is
yeah, it just wasn't. Yeah,
yeah, and it helped me out because it let it kept everything organized. There were, like you said, there was no fights, there was no problems.
yeah, dude, it was
We all managed
just
it.
the atmosphere was awesome.
You guys respected me so much, and you loved me so
Yeah,
much that when I had a problem, you guys were like, "Listen, we're on it. We'll
yeah.
family." Yeah, unbelievable. Like I said, this shirt, I love this shirt. I don't know if we could see
Classic.
it. I don't know if we can see it.
Yeah, there you go.
A picture of
We
it.
ain't shit. Oh man,
Oh,
classic.
yeah. And then we did it in like the size order. If you had if you're the top team,
Yeah.
your small teams. But every team that played was on that season. I don't even know if the season's on here with Brownstone.
Yeah, I think it's on there somewhere.
That was great. We had the T-shirts made. It was such a great grassroots type of thing. And
Yeah, dude.
if you asked me, this is where we'd be today, I'd like, no fucking way, But
Dude, that's why, like, even the few times, I came out, I think when you started at Tilted right there on Route 1.
Oh, yeah.
And even at that point, you guys, you were way past, like, where you were. And, like, and I was blown away because, like I said, from what we started at and where, what you were at, and it's like to see, even like the amount of places that you ended up finding and how now you have people working for you, going to those bars and so that you could run tournaments elsewhere. Like it really was. It was honestly mind blowing.
Now, did you ever make it down to DJ's? I think you did, right? You came down to DJ's when we did it down there.
Me and Miggs went down once. We ended up playing one night. We actually, I think we got smoked actually, and then I think we ended up sneaking in at the end for the playoffs, and we ended up losing, I think, in the semis, something like that.
Back in those days, you could do that. Like those tournaments, we were so brand new, and then we're doing DJs, and it's, we didn't have the format down as far as organization. We didn't have the computer. We were still doing everything handwritten and doing
handwritten, yeah.
And DJs was amazing because, they were competing with the Beat the Clock over at Bar A.
At Bar A.
This was supposed to be just something to do, for people that couldn't get into Bar A or whatever the deal was.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a huge night. So we would end up getting like, 30, 40 teams signing up, start playing, and they would drop out. And then like another 30, 40 teams would come in and we'd filter them in. And then by the end of the night, by the end of the season, they did like a 13-week season. And like we had a shit ton of teams. I was thinking it was like something like 280 teams that played, but only like 15 qualified that were.
Yeah.
It was everybody coming to just one night and playing.
Yeah.
So
it's so funny.
I try to keep on thinking about those stories. Just how when we first started. I remember Mike, the owner, coming in one time when we said, "Hey man, we're gonna do Pong," and I always talk about like the first season where we came up with the idea. Like we weren't giving away a weekly prize. Like you just came.
No, yeah.
Everybody went over to Fox and the Hound. And then as it grew, Mike gave us more money and we had a bigger budget and we were able to give away weekly prize. And then he showed up one night on a Tuesday night, and I was actually fucking running the tournament and managing the night at the same time.
Managing the restaurant.
I was managing the restaurant while I was running through. And Mike
You can't make this shit up.
No. We had 32 teams there on a Tuesday night at a 9 o'clock sign up, and we had to be done by 1 with 6 tables, 64 people. And Mike walked in, he goes, Gary, he goes, I got a bag of shit in my car. He goes, can you turn it to gold? Because it seems like that's what you do. I'll never forget that. He was like,
dude,
he took a Tuesday night and it's packed.
It's packed in here, yeah.
I was like, man, I wish I could take credit for it, but I just read it and you guys helped out. You had a crew and we made it fun.
You know what it was too, though? Like, even like having like the beer specials and like the drink specials that you had, like this, what was it, $7 pitchers? Like, dude, everybody loved that. You see everybody just walking around with a pitcher, just drinking out the pitchers. Like,
yeah, they still do
insane.
That. It's the format that works. I always tell them the $4 LIT. I don't know why. You put a blue LIT on a special during Pong. These fucking kids. I see them. We were doing Arugas on 18.
Arugas.
On 18.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to there.
No, I mean, that is one of our new tournaments. We were doing it on a Wednesday. It lasted like 2 seasons, and then they cut it. But they were doing these like fish bowls, these blue fish bowls with like a can of Corona in or something. It was something weird.
Yeah.
And I went around and videotaped. There was like 11 of them. Everybody was drinking. I'm like, what's up with these Pong kids? They just love those blue LIT.
Yeah, because they probably get you fucked up. That's why.
Like rum bucket.
Rum bucket. Yeah, they probably get you ripped.
Oh yeah, I just fantastic. Sometimes I'll sit in meetings with owners and I'll try to explain to them, here, this is the, they're like, oh, we'll do a $3 beer. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, but a $7
great.
$7 pitcher is so much better than a $3 beer. Everybody knows there's 4 pints in a pitcher.
Yeah.
So if you spend a $3 beer, you're spending $12, but get a $7 pitcher. It's
Yeah.
It's so the kids do the math. Everybody did their math. They come on a budget because they want to play 4 nights a week. You know, they're like, I could come out
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Dude, we used to do it.
How much money do I
Me
have?
and Migs, man.
Oh,
Me and
yeah.
Migs, we used to do, I think we did Tuesdays were at Fire and Ice. I think Wednesdays were at, you switched them, I think, and they were at Park. So
Yes.
that Thursdays we could do Blackthorn, and then I think Friday we went back to Brownstone.
Yeah.
So like literally, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we were playing Pong like religiously.
Easily. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot you guys
It
played
was
at Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice was another good spot, man. You know, they're nice and roomy.
Yeah.
Good spot, dude.
Yeah, I liked Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice was a good spot too.
Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable. And then to think like you'll swing back every once in a while just to chill out
Yeah.
and then pick up the ball and just kick ass, dude.
Just like it's like I never left. Like just it's like riding a bike, dude.
Yeah, I agree. Like some people, you know, the guys that are on our upper level, like, oh, and this is the other thing I want to, like, it sucks that, like, what we're doing now with, like, bigger tournaments with big money, you know, like weekend type of things or, you know, $1,000 tournaments and with a lot of teams. I wish you would experience, I wish we had that when you guys were there because
Yeah.
you would have done some real fucking serious work. It just took a while to get to that level, but these tournaments are like the $5,000 tournaments. You know, we've done 3 of them so far. Yeah, the last one we did was at a hotel last year, the beginning of 2019. It was 3 days. We started on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, we started Friday night.
I think I do remember seeing that on your Snap actually.
Dude, it was. I mean, people got hotel rooms. We stayed over. It was immense, and it was multiple tournaments going on. There was a day tournament on Saturday. There was a shootout for TVs. Then we did the prelims. Then we did a night tournament for $2,000 World Series and $350 for Pongkings in the back room. And then Saturday was the finals for $5,000. And then we did our player championship. We have a player championship now with a trophy, so you could be the best player of the entire year. And this year, just everything's got screwed. But I tell you, it burnt me out. I did that. I did Atlantic City tournament, and then we did the 10v10 last year, and I was burnt. I was fucking burnt. And then moving and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was burnt out. I was burnt.
Yeah, I remember. Well, I remember talking to you. I forget where when you were like in the process of moving and stuff, and you were just like, "I'm fried, dude." You're like, "I can't." Like, you're running on fumes.
Right. Try to run, 7, 8 leagues a week, putting together 5Ks and Atlantic City tournaments. Then try to renovate my house. Then my son graduated high school, prom. My good friend got sick, and then moving my family, and what a mess last year was. Like, like this is. Like it's a blessing in disguise a little bit with this break. I have never had more than a week off in like 10 years. And now I have 4 months off.
You're like, you have too much time. Like, and that's when I saw you started doing the virtual Pong and stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean, we did 38 tournaments online and they were great. Problem is one of the other World Series people, they already had a format to it. So they were really capturing a lot of the audience, which didn't bother me. I just wanted to stay relevant. I didn't know this was going to last this long. So I was like, I can't have downtime and then start back up again and start from nothing. So I was like, every night, my kids went to bed, I would go to work. Now I would just go in my office and run these tournaments, keep myself fresh. But then after, a couple months, I was like, this is never going to fucking end.
You're like, this is going to keep going.
I'm like, yeah. So I refocused on doing stuff like this where I was like, I love the YouTube and getting back to the old players because we tell these stories all the time, Eric, all the time. We'll be at, people always go to me, how'd you get started, And I said, how much time do you have?
You're like, sit down. Like,
Jesus Christ. So I started doing these to kind of tell the story a little bit, but this is always something I wanted to do. And so this gives me an opportunity to do this and then, start the YouTube channel and do some of that stuff on there, just explaining some rules and going over things that I talk about in tournaments. So, it's a blessing in disguise, like not having the tournaments and devoting my time to that. Because people don't realize that,
of course,
the tournaments wrap at 2. By the time we pack up and get home, it's like 3:30.
Yeah, 3:30.
I gotta be up at 9 a.m. every day, So I'll get 5.5 hours sleep if that. I'll throw something down my throat, and then I'm up at 9, and then I do what I got to do family wise, and I jump in the office and bang out all the paperwork that you have to do with these tournaments, with the stats, and 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 going to talk to whoever's running the tournament down the road and posting the pictures and knowing who. Oh man, and then doing the.
Yeah, dude.
We have power rankings now. So you.
Yeah, I think we were around for I think you started that like towards the end of us.
Yeah.
Coming around. I think you started doing like the power rankings because that was when I think it was at Park was when I remember because that was the same thing. Like you started doing the power rankings because they like there was a few teams that just like I said just wouldn't show up a few weeks and then just come out of nowhere and then they make it into the tournament and it's like so like you started doing the power rankings just by you would reward teams that showed up every week even if they didn't have winning records or whatever. You would still somehow some way get them involved and I'm pretty sure like right towards the end of us you started doing that. But even just like the rules, how you've tweaked them a little bit, like I said, the most recent times that I've come out and played Pong, it's just like, they're like explaining to me like, oh no, like you got to do this now, you got to do that. I'm like, wait, what? Like whatever happened to just, regular old Pong?
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, Gary had to change the rules and he had to do this and he had to do that because of this one or because of that one. And like, it was like, it's cool though. Like I said, it's always fun to just come out and play again, but it's just how things have changed.
You have to do it. Like, so what happened was like we were giving away the $1,000 and the team that finished first, they hump it, they'd finish first, they would supposedly finish against the 16th team. That's what we were doing, 1 against 16. And then you got guys that were coming in, like you said, that were just qualifying in 16 and they were really good and they were knocking out the number 1 team. And then it was like, why am I playing all this time at number 1? It doesn't benefit me. So then people were like, we don't want to finish one. So what I did was I rewarded the top seed with $100. And then what we did, we changed the bracket system to not have 1 play 16. It was 1, 2, 3, and 4 got buys, and then we dropped it down to 12 teams instead of 16. So it made it even harder to get in. And then if you didn't come at least 4 weeks, you weren't getting in. So
you weren't getting in, yeah.
And then you had to play almost like a wild card type of thing to get in. So like 12 would play 8 or whatever it was, and then whoever played whoever won that moved on. So that team that might have snuck in it has a game before the number 1 seed. So it kind of gave like we put that rule in effect to make it a little bit more beneficial for teams to finish in the top 4 because you got to buy. And if you win that, you're in a semifinal. And we did the thing with the money with the the 7-2 split at the final table, so that it wasn't like winner take all. You played a whole season, you got to the final table, and you're walking away with nothing. So we did the 7-2 split to kind of reward the second place team for just getting there.
Just getting in, yeah.
It's still a good payday for everyone, and they could decide to play for it all if they want. But most people don't. They're satisfied. Honestly, people just want the 1K under their belt. They just want that.
Well, that was, and as funny as it is, like even when like Miggs and I would, as much as we played, I think we won more 4K, more 1Ks than we did the $100 nights, like winning for the one single night. I think we have, I think we have 3 1Ks and maybe 1 or 2 like $100 nights.
Right.
Like no exaggeration. Literally, like the fact that
The kids from Park East, they won 4 1Ks at Park East, and they never won a weekly.
It was the same exact thing for me.
Matt and Bill.
Yes, Matt. Yes.
Yeah. They never won a weekly, and then
never.
Never. And then they would just always win the 1K. They won 4. They won 4. 1K.
Yeah. I remember, dude. We always used to like give them a run for their money when we and Miggs would play them in the playoffs and shit. But they were good, man.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of this stuff over here. Kraken Core.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at some of the old school teams here.
The old names there.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
I think my favorite is Marcus. Marcus.
Marcus.
He doesn't play. I don't know. I think he's in Florida now, or whatever. But
yeah, he's in Florida.
But he won a 1K. I think his last 1K was like the 56th. Let me look it up. It was him and Jeremy. I think we've called him out on this many times as a joke on like chats and stuff. Yeah. He won with Rob Pearson. It was.
Oh, I remember when Rob got his first one.
Yeah, and he got that with Marcus. It was our 43rd 1K.
Okay.
And then I always joke around, Marcus, you haven't won. We've done 100 1Ks since you've won your last
Since
one.
you won.
He's like, no, that can't be right. I'm like, yeah. Like,
You're like, no, it's right.
he's like, oh, I'm the best. But the funny thing is, like, he'll show up on like a random, Friday at Brownstone
Yeah.
and get drunk out of his mind and win it. Just and win it. Like, no big deal. Like, all these
Yeah.
players, and he'll just win it. And then, can't put a fucking season together. Ever since he left Applebee's, he said fuck Applebee's all the time. But when he was working for Applebee's,
Yeah.
that's when his life was good. He was playing Pong. He was,
Yeah.
He went over to Apple, and that's it. It's been shit.
That was all she wrote.
Well, if you're watching, Marcus, go join Applebee's.
Yeah.
Get back to waiting tables and playing Pong.
Dude, Marcus had the most unique shot I've ever seen a Pong player have. Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, I don't know how he does.
Dude, that video that those guys made on Facebook of everybody's shots, that was like epic. Like the most epic on point thing I've ever seen in my life. I think it was Jeremy.
That's the characters we had fucking playing for us at that time, dude.
The best, man.
Yeah, they would go home and make videos like that. It was fun. It was fun, man. It
really was.
I hope some of these young cats that are in here now, because there's always a transition, but I hope some of these young cats that are in here now, follow suit. They come, they play. There's a lot of competition now because you have, some of the top players play for us now, Our 10v10 team is just, it's unbelievable. They almost won the whole thing. And they're just regular weekly players that have been playing for us. So to compete against them every week for these young players, it's kind of different than when you were playing or when Mark, everybody had a chance and stuff. But now,
now it's,
these kids got to rise up to the challenge. You're playing against some of the top players in the world, and it's a little different. So I don't think they're going home making fucking videos. They should. They should really.
They should, just because it's funny. But no, I know what you're saying. Definitely, it's definitely a lot different.
We have some characters though, man. So these guys are definitely characters. They're all good guys. Good people, but not like the old days. I hate when people always say that, but it is. It's like
it's true. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. Like I said, the few times that I've came out recently, like I said, I don't take it seriously anymore. I come out when I come out. If I did, I'd be showing up, every week or every other week, with my actual partner. Like I literally, how many times do I go and I text you and I'm like, yo, just find me a partner. I'm coming. And I just show up. You know what I mean? I just play. But
I was just gonna say the last 3 times I've seen you, you were just kind of there. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like,
you're like, you're like,
hey. Partner, and I think I don't know if you won. I think you won 1 time or 2 times.
I think I did actually. Yeah. Who did I play with? I think I played with Life's brother.
Yes.
The one night at Hytham, yeah. But
was it at Brownstone? Was it at Brownstone or was it at
No, it was at Tilt to Kill. It was at Tilted, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I just remember you showing up one night and then just winning. I remember you definitely winning with a random. And
yeah, it was just mad random.
Well, it's funny because you remember, like, Life is like one of the, I think he won season 2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mark and Kenny.
And then Mark.
Yeah, and then Light and Adam, We Ain't Shit was their team name. So
yeah. Light and Adam,
They won season 3, and then you guys won
3.
4. Yeah, and then, but like, he'll come around once in a while, but his brother, he's gotten great. Hytham's
so much better, right?
And then even their sister, she shoots.
Yeah.
So it's like changing of the guard, with them.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Hytham's another one that could walk into a tournament, no partner, and
take anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, just solid, just absolutely solid.
And that just comes with just literally just playing and showing up every week or whenever, and just, you know what I mean? Like just literally just playing and playing and playing and playing. Just getting better and better. Like even with Rob, like I remember the first few times when Rob came, and I forget who his like actual partner was at the time, but then like I remember seeing when him and Marcus, I couldn't believe it, and I was like, no way, Rob won his 1K, like just because I was there when he first started, you know what I mean? Like it was, oh man,
he wins. Like you'll see even like at Brownstone, we'll do like randoms and stuff like that, and he'll win. He'll win
Yeah,
that
he'll
tournament.
win. Yeah, for the
Another guy
$100.
that
Yeah,
doesn't come out that much, like, you know, like, if the boys are all coming out to play on a Friday, he'll come out and play. But another guy that just flies under the radar, but can put the ball in a cup and win a tournament when he needs to, you know? So
yeah,
it's unbelievable.
awesome.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
That's great.
You know, Mark,
So many good times, man.
Mark, you know, Life's friend Mark. You know Mark.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
There was one time when we were playing. We had a $1,000 tournament under the tent at Brownstone. One of the barber shops put up $1,000, and we had 50 teams sign up for it. I mean, stud teams. I mean,
Yeah,
people like that had won World Series, people that were World Series players that were just studs, and Mark and Life got hammered drunk. Hammered drunk. I might have no. It might not have been Life. It might have been Kenny. It might have been Mark and Kenny that came out of nowhere.
probably.
Yo, hammered drunk, won the whole
And
thing.
just
The next
wiped everybody.
day they texted me and they're like, "How did we win?" I'm like, "You remember you beat this guy? You beat." I'm like, they had no
Yeah.
blackout drunk and won the whole thing. Meanwhile, you got players who were like, do this religiously every day.
Yeah,
You know?
and they just come and
Yeah.
dude, but those were the type of players that we had back then. Like that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, bro, it was
You
such,
know what I
like
think
it
is-
was
you know-
epic.
You know what I think, Eric, is I think there's a lot more players out there in the world that don't know about this world that could come into here and just dominate all these people.
Dominate.
But they don't. They just play in their backyards or they play at
Yeah,
colleges.
they
And they
don't
don't know
even.
about
Yeah,
it. I'm hoping that doing more of this i2i stuff or more stuff on YouTube brings
Yeah.
it out of the woodwork a little bit, because I think there's some great players out there that no idea that.
dude, even when like when we were still coming around, like I remember talking to people and trying to like, and they'd be like, "What are you talking about? Like you playing Pong tournaments?" And I'm like, "Dude, this is how it goes." You know what I mean? And I would explain it to them, like, you come with your partner, you show up, 8 weeks, whatever. It's over 8-10 week tournament. I'm like, you could play for 1,000 at the end. You could win 100. They're like, when, where, and
Right.
like when. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, I'm there. Like, they thought it was like the coolest thing like ever. So, like you said, it's like, imagine the people that that have no idea, like that would actually hear about it, and like you'd be literally selling out bars.
Yeah, I'm excited to see new players come in and do well. And when we do new bars and we meet new players, I'm really excited when I see them do well. When they come to the tournaments, they're excited about the challenge. They're not really they don't really worry about too much if they lose. You get 5 games.
Yeah.
And if they lose, but after they come a couple weeks, they want to win that 100. And I see them starting to really push it, and they know the caliber of people that they have to beat in the playoffs. And then when they win that first weekly, the excitement is so awesome.
Yeah.
And then they go, now I want to win 1,000. Now I want to win a
yeah.
city. And they get 100% locked into it, and that makes me so happy. That I create this environment, and I see these people who are really good have a chance to win money, showcase their talents, and just drive for a goal. And it might be throwing a cup, but it's not as easy as people think. And
it's not.
No.
Yeah. And like another thing too, that like aside from like wanting to win, and like as competitive as Miggs and I were, like when it came to Pong every week, like I met so many cool ass people, like just like friends, you know what I'm saying? That like I don't come around as much, but like if I do see them, or even on social media, like just down to earth, like cool ass fucking people that I got cool with and like became friends with. And that was another like awesome part of it. Like even like when at Blackthorn, I use that as an example because of how big it got. And like you had like the randoms like checking like, what are you guys doing, like and then they would start playing. Then next thing oh, I'll see you next week, like, and it just it was just a ripple effect. And like I said, the amount of people that I met just doing it, and throughout the years, and at all the different bars, it was just it was awesome. It really was. It was cool as shit, man.
Yeah, when I first started this, I always was like the competitive aspect. I always wanted to have an organized. Nobody did organized Pong, and I was like, I always want to do organized Pong. It's just in my nature to have organization, and I thought it would be cool because the players, you got something out of it. You weren't just playing; you were playing for a record. You were playing for a goal. You were playing for money, a championship, and that's was my focus, was just to have the social aspect. I never thought about. And then when it started happening, when even like you're saying, friendships were formed, and then even people like, meeting, having children, getting married, 8 years later, 7 years later, there's a lot of babies. We just had another baby that was born the other day.
Marriages,
People getting married and I never thought about that. But the 5-game or the 7-game prelim, after thinking about it, I was like, that's what it is. You go and match up against somebody, and then you match up against somebody else. You're going to get to know those people. So after 5 or 7 games, the next week, you're going to be in a different bracket, but you're going to see some of those same people on the table. And after a 10-week period of playing those people, and you're going to get to know them. And then, like you said, going to other bars, them being out there, seeing the same people that I remember you from Brownstone, but then you have all these new people who are like, I want to meet them. Like, look, they're all friends, and they would come around.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you just said, I never thought about that. And then just such an extra thing that we got out of Pong that wasn't expected. That's actually bigger than the actual tournament.
Than just Pong. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even like you said, people, I didn't think about it until now, but it's like, there's people that have met each other that, found their significant other that are either living with them or just had a baby with them, or like, if you really think about it, like,
or just travel across the country with them.
like all because of Pong. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we went and played beer pong at a bar.
It's great, man. It's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, I wish, like I said, I wish more people like that would circle back. Like, you never really, I guess you don't sit there and say, oh, this is where we met, and think of that as a community or something that they have to return to. Like, oh, it's just something we did. But the people in this community it's still going. They're still, people are still meeting. And I think they love to hear those stories of those people that had met here. You go on dating sites, you go to bars, but I mean, you meet at Pong.
Yeah.
That's pretty
You meet at Pong, Like, dude, imagine, like, I feel like it would be an awesome idea, but who knows with this fucking quarantine shit. But, like, I feel like if you had, like, an alumni tournament, you know what I'm saying? And, like, somehow, like, got everybody, not everybody, but even if you got, a decent amount of people, to come out and just have a fun ass tournament one night, and, like, you know what I mean? Just literally, like, all the alums.
Yeah, but we'll just invite all the old school people.
Right? I feel like it would just be an awesome, you know what I mean? Just for all of us to, like, link up and just have a huge tournament.
I love the idea. I love the idea.
You know what I mean?
I have this. So my house, I have a big yard. So to invite everybody over for our barbecue, that could be good times, man. That could be fun.
Really
and have just bring it back to the old school Pong. We'll throw a tournament together and play some Pong and drink some beers and talk about life and all get back.
It would just be
I love
it. Would be fucking. It would be epic, dude. It would be so epic.
Let's do something. We have the website up. Since we were doing stuff online, I use my website now for signups, and it's butter. They go in there, they sign up to my email. Oh my God, that's how we do all the online
that's
stuff.
awesome.
We sign up online. Our website it's humming along right now. It's at like 75%, but it's operational. It's definitely functional. I did all my sales. We just did a bunch of t-shirts and hoodie sales off of it. And
I texted you. I told you I want one. I've been wanting one of those hoodies for fucking 10 years now.
Oh, listen, you earned it. If I have an extra one,
I know. Hey, listen, I'll buy it. I'm here to support you, bro. I don't want nothing for free. I just want it because
I gotta pay you for this.
Yeah, nah, definitely not.
Well, you just gave me the greatest idea. I just gave you the greatest idea with an alumni tournament here. So.
Dude, you can think about it. Like, literally, you put that shit on the website, you fucking put it on IG. All the people that we used to play with, they see that shit, they're like, yo, I'm going.
Great idea. So we want to create this thing called PK Sports, which is a channel on YouTube where we're doing just all these different sports. So it's Pongkings,
different things.
We're doing cornhole, we're doing Dye's Life, we're doing that. So we have a 10v10s tournament that we have a warehouse that we're setting it up in. We're trying to get that. We're gonna videotape it all and put it out on YouTube as like a 30-minute show, and just try to get some bites off it. And if it works, then we're gonna do more of that and create our own YouTube channel. So that's what
definitely, dude.
YouTube's up like 400% right now. So everyone's home just looking for content, and I think like the Pong is so much content with, like you say, friendships, relationships, kids, competitiveness. You got alcohol involved. It's just it's destined to be something on the internet, and if I don't do it, somebody else is gonna. So I want to.
Yeah,
Do it.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Another thing too, like about Pong, when I was like telling people about it, and they would ask me, like about the tournament, and then like the biggest thing that like was basically hook, line, and sinker was like, oh, well, how much is it to play? And I'm like, nothing. And they're like, what do you mean nothing? How do we win? How do we win $100 a night, or how do we win $1,000 at the end of it? If we, I'm like, listen, nothing. Like, just show up and that's it. You bring your money for your beer and that's it. Like, we get fucked up. We have a good ass time. We play Pong, and you could win money if you're good. If not, you still have a good ass time. You still go and, you still have fun. But yeah, dude, that's just,
the point of that was, you could pay a DJ, whatever, $200 or something to come DJ, but he's not bringing in that many people. He'll bring in a few of his friends. He's entertaining your crowd that's already there, or you could bring in a band, which is even more money. Now they have more of a following, but it's still more money. So we were kind of saying, if you do this, you're going to bring people in. You're going to use almost the same amount of budget that you would as a DJ, less than a band, but generate more revenue on people that are coming in just for this. Then your regulars that are there will start playing, and they're going to come back. So people that came to your bar, saw this, they're going to come back to your bar for this. Then new people come into your bar, not knowing that we're doing this, and they're going to come back for this. And it's a perfect storm for promotions for a bar, better than a DJ, better than a band. And that's why you can do it for free, because a DJ or a band is going to have that kind of volume, especially with drinking too. I mean, everybody spends minimum, I say minimum $20. Like I always say, everyone's going to spend minimum $20. Minimum.
Yeah.
You put 50 teams and 100 people, that's $2,000 minimum.
In however long, like in such a short window of time, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's a minimum. So like, on average, you're thinking what, $50 to $100 you figure,
My tab was never $20. I know that. And my tab was never $25.
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
I remember a few times. Yeah, just throw a few jacks on there. Throw some JMOs on there. Don't worry, I got it. I'm like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, everybody drinks. So, but yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, dude. It's awesome seeing you. And
yeah, dude, definitely. I appreciate you having me, man.
Listen, next time you come around, I want everybody to say hello to this legend right here and shake his hand and grab him as your partner and let him take you to the promised land here. So
that's it, man.
All right, Erik, it's a pleasure, man. I love you, dude.
Yeah.
And,
love you, dude. Take it easy.
All right.
Yeah.
Be well.
Talk to you soon, buddy. All right.